What was once old is new again. Nox Archaist.
Hi and welcome to the Nox Archaist tutorial videos. I'm Chris Torrance. In this episode, I want to talk about getting started with your first character. We're going to play Nox Archaist using the Nox Archaist application that comes with the game. To do that, I'm going to open up the DMG image on the Mac and drag the disk image for the game onto my folder. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag in the Nox Archaist application and put that next to it. Now that I've got them copied over, I can go ahead and click on the Nox Archaist application to start it. This application was developed by Melody and April Ayres Griffiths for Nox Archaist.
Nox Archaist.
Press the spacebar to continue to the main menu. Let's go ahead and choose Start New Game. If this is the very first time you've played Nox Archaist, you'll need to accept the end user license agreement. In this case, we've played before, so it's asking us whether we're okay with erasing both saved game slots. So we'll just say yes to continue. And now we are going to create our character. So let's think of a cool name for our character. I'll just choose Rift, and I'll hit return. And then I can choose my gender. There's male, female, or other. I will choose female. And then finally there's the race. There's human, halfling, elf, dark elf, and dwarf. And each one of these has a slightly different characteristic in terms of its starting ability. But during the game itself, it makes no difference what your race is. So I like to pick elf just because I get a bonus to my intelligence, which helps me cast spells. You are an adventurer, trained under the order of Nox Archaist. Queen Isa has given you a writ of authority to investigate a strange new cult. Hearing rumors of a dark void tied to the cult, you've set sail for a nearby island. Once on board, you realize this is a pirate ship and the captain has been paid by cultists to sail straight into the void. When you protest, the captain knocks you out and throws you into the brig. As you wake, the ship enters a mighty storm. A fell voice on the wind whispers a name, Vazarath. Timbers burst, water pours in, and the ship begins to sink. You have a knife, the writ, and a bag of coins. Welcome to Valley, the world of Nox Archaist. As you can tell, if you have a Mockingbird sound card in your system, or your emulator does, then it will go ahead and play music at various spots throughout the game. And you can control whether that's on or off. Here we're going to go ahead and come to our first door. So this is the door to the cell in the ship. And the tutorial tells us press O to open the door. So I'll hit O. And then the direction, which is up. And now I'm just going to use the arrow keys to move up into this main room. So you can see over here, we have the wreckage of the ship. So here's some water coming in. Here's a chair, a table. This is a little stove here. And these are some, what looks like to be rats. So let's move forward. All right, the game says to walk north to fight the rats. So when we move next to an enemy, it's going to go ahead and put us into combat mode. And there's various things we can do, including A to attack and C to cast a spell. So let's go ahead and we'll just move up by hitting the up arrow. And now we're presented with the combat menu. You can see that it tells us what the enemy is at the top. And here's the location of the enemies on the battlefield. And then at the bottom, it asks whether we want to choose quick combat or tactical combat. In quick combat, everything is done by the computer and it's out of our control. And this is good if you're a very high-level adventurer just fighting low-level mobs. But in our case, we're pretty low level. So we're going to choose T for tactical. I'm going to go ahead and use the arrow keys to move up closer to the enemy here. And then once I move up, the rat tries to attack me, but you can see on the right-hand side it didn't do any damage. I'm going to hit A for attack, and then that's the target. So if there were multiple enemies, I could use the arrow keys to move that around, but there's only one. So I'll just hit return or enter, and I just killed the rat. And now that I'm done with the battle, I just hit escape. It tells me the experience points, and I also got 2 food, which is a little bit gross. On the right-hand side, you can see I have my gold, my food, as well as what time it is. So let's go ahead and we'll explore around a little bit more. I can just move around in here. If I go over to the chair, I can sit down. But we want to keep going, so let's go ahead and go up this ladder that's straight ahead of me. If you're not sure what something is, you can hit the L key and then the direction up, and it will tell you what that is. So in this case, it's a ladder. And this is going up. And now we're on the second level of the ship. And over there, it looks like somebody maybe to either talk to or fight. It says, walk next to the pirate, press T to talk to him. Type in name, job, or any capitalized word he says to you. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to hit T for talk, and then the left arrow. Here's the pirate. He doesn't seem to recognize me. And you can see there, he says, we're shipwrecked, matey. And because that word is in bold, that means it's a keyword that I can then ask him more about. All right, so first of all, let's just ask him what his name is, since that's one of the main keywords. Arr, they call me Bristlebeard. And then we can also type job, and everyone will respond to this. I'd be a bosun on this here ship, or what's left of it. And again, he says, we're shipwrecked. So let's type in the word shipwrecked. Now, I only have to type in the first 4 letters for any keyword. Arr, the captain may have said something in his log about what happened. Let's ask about log. Don't just sit there, you swabby. Help me look for it. It might be on this here bookshelf or in that there chest, or it could be in the dresser in his quarters. All right, there's no more keywords, and I can't think of anything else to ask him, so I'll just hit return. And then that's the end of the conversation. So you can see over here, there is a table in the middle, and then there's a treasure chest here, another chair, and then down here in the corner is a bookshelf. So let's go ahead and we'll move over and down towards that. And the tutorial tells us how to get to the bookshelf and then the chest. When you're near those, you can press S to search. So let's go down there and do that. I'm next to the bookshelf. I'll hit S and then right arrow. And it says that I found Magic Missile, which is a spell that I can add to my spell book. And we'll talk about spells more a little bit later. Now I'll go to the chest. I couldn't get to it from the other direction because the pirate is there. So I'm just going to sit down in the chair. Then I'm going to hit O for open and up. And then it asks who will pick the lock. And I only have 1 character. So every time you pick a lock, it uses up one of your lock picks. And there may occasionally be traps on these chests. So I didn't get in the first time. So let's try it again. And I found 8 gold in the chest. So let's keep going through the ship. We're going to go out the door now. So I'm going to hit O for open and to the right. And go out onto the main part of the deck. The tutorial says walk east. Okay, so we'll do that. And we'll open this door. Okay, go inside. It tells me to walk next to the dresser and search it. So I'll do that. Hit S and right arrow. And I found the captain's log. All right. Okay, so to read the captain's log, we just need to go into our inventory. And this will be a good time to talk about that. If I hit the tab key, that brings up my party roster. I hit tab again, and that'll bring up my character statistics pages as well as the inventory. And you can see there's 6 different pages to these. And if I just hit the numbers 1 through 6, it'll go through all of them. So this first screen here is just my character stats. And this actually has some sub pages within it. And I can just use the arrow keys to go through those. Page 1 contains my main statistics. 2 is my weapons and armor. 3 is my combat statistics. And then 4 is my skills progression, which we can talk about more later. I'm going to hit the number 2 now to go to my weapons. So here's all the weapons. The star underneath my hunting knife indicates that it's equipped. I'll hit 3 to go to armor. And then you can see I have all of these items as well, and they're all equipped. 4 will get to my useful items, including torches and lockpicks. Here's my writ of authority from the queen. There's my coin of the realm. And then finally, here's the captain's log, which we just found. If I hit U to use it, it'll go ahead and let me read that. When we got close to the dark void, a strange storm rolled in. Those cultists and their infernal dark void mission have doomed us. I should have listened to Irene when she told me they were up to no good. All right, so we've got some clues that something's going on. There's a dark void. It seems to have wrecked the ship, but we don't really know exactly what to do next. So let's just keep exploring the ship and see what happens. Down below me is a ladder to the below decks of the ship. I'm not going to go down right now, but if you're playing the game, you might want to go down there and explore. It might be worth it. Let's go ahead and we'll hit O to leave, and we'll go back out. And it says to exit the shipwreck, wade into the water. For now, avoid deeper water or you'll drown. All right, and there's other places you can go on the ship. For example, to the right of me are some stairs up. If I just walk onto them, it'll take me onto that next level there, and I can walk around and explore. But for now, let's just go back downstairs and we'll leave the shipwreck. Okay, Irene the pub keeper in a town to the east might know about the cult that caused the shipwreck. This is your first quest. Press the / key to view your quests. So just like it said, I'm going to hit the / key, and this brings up my quest log, and it says, talk to Irene, the pub keeper in Everton, about the cult and follow up on her insights. And you can see that the word cult is bold, which indicates that we probably want to use that keyword when talking to her. Let's go ahead and we'll exit the ship now, and I'll just walk out the bottom of the ship here where the hole is. And once I've done that, you can see that I'm now in the Isles of Winmar. So the view has changed from the close-up view of the shipwreck to the broad scale view of the entire map. So I'm just going to stay to the coastal area here and just swim over to the land. And now I'm on the mainland here, and you can see here is the town of Everton. So we'll just head up into the town.